Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We have people from all over the globe, so good morning, good evening. Happy to see all of you today. My name is Mallory Kaur. I am a digital marketing executive here at FlowForma, and I'm so happy you joined us for our new Learn Lab. This is very exciting. This is a new venture from FlowForma. So today we are going to see a business process digitized in under an hour. I'm going to be hosting us today, so we're really excited that you're here for our first Learn Lab. I think it's going to be a good time. So we'll give it another few seconds, get everyone in here. Lovely. And while last few stragglers are hopping in, a little bit of housekeeping. So before we get into today's exciting Learn Lab, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. I'm going to share a few tips for participation just to help all of us make the most out of our session today. So note that this session, our Learn Lab, is being recorded. So you'll be able to share this with other people in your organization. Will send you an email, so you'll have this recording post session. If you have any trouble with your audio or your video, any other tech issues throughout today's Learn Lab, you can email us at FlowForma, info@flowforma.com there, and our team will be able to assist you from there. So for smooth sailing throughout the webinar, everyone's lines are going to be muted, but we encourage you to use our chat box feature here. So as we're going through the session today, if you have any questions, please feel free. Any questions, comments, drop those in the chat. Anything that comes up during the process build that you're curious about, and we'll be sure to answer those for you. And then after the Learn Lab concludes, we would appreciate if you could complete our short feedback survey right at the end there. All good. So with that, I'm excited to introduce you to my colleagues here. Mirza Mehdi is our product manager here, hopping on, and Dara Allen is our technical consultant. So in this Learn Lab, we're going to show you just how easy it is to use the FlowForma process automation tool. It allows you to digitize processes quickly, gain rapid adoption, and most importantly, I think to a lot of us out there, see an early return on your investment. So you might be used to kind of stiff webinars that save questions for the end, but keeping us on theme here today, I want us to be as interactive as possible and encourage you to take part in our polls while Dara and Mirza are building the process. So any questions you have, like I said, feel free to pop those in the chat, and we're going to discuss along the way. So we asked everyone what process you were hoping to see today, and with 54.4% of the vote, incident management process took the lead today. So while we get started here, so as we are actually getting into our session today, I'm going to hand it over to our experts. So now that we know what process we're going to be going for, I'm going to hand it over to Mirza and Dara, who are going to guide us through some transformation today. Mirza?
Thank you so much, Mallory. Hello, everybody. This is Mirza here, and I am the product manager of FlowForma. Thank you all for sparing your valuable time to participate in our webinar today. I've also been made aware that we have participants from throughout the world, so it's amazing, to see that so many people globally want to digitally transform their processes. All right, so what I'm going to cover today is our mission, and then I'm also going to talk about our core objectives, our values, and why we believe what we believe. And then I'm also going to take you through a breadth of implementation processes which you can apply, in your company. So to start off with regards to our mission, now, like I said, we have people participating from throughout the world. We believe that all of you all are business people, all of you all are from various industries. Now that's amazing about FlowForma, right? Because you are from different domains, different industries, and everybody has one key pain point, which is automating, all right? So you guys want to kind of digitize. So that's our mission, and we are laser focused on our mission, that we want to empower you so that you can successfully automate processes in-house without any technical expertise, any technical skills required, without going through a lot of training and trying to know technology. So this is really essential for everybody, that we understand that you want to digitize your processes, and we want to leave your domain and your expertise for yourself, and we want to make sure that you do best what you do, and leave digitization, automation, digital transformation, all of that to us. And that is what our mission talks about, and that is what we are really passionate about. Next slide, please, Mallory. Thank you. Now, this is our core objectives. Now, when we started building our product, we actually wanted to do some soul searching, and we want to kind of review what core values should we kind of establish our product upon. So we asked ourselves a few questions. Why are we creating this product in the first place? All right. So, what are the core things that we believe in, and how do we want to make sure that we deliver all of this? So, the first and foremost is you, our customers, our clients who really want to use this product. And we want to make sure that you can automate your processes every day. Now, we know from a customer's perspective that you want to do this every day because you have a lot of challenges and you have a lot of, processes to automate. And we also are aware that you do not have the time to prepare, you do not have the time to learn something new, learn a new technical skill. And that's why we kept it business user focused, somebody who do not require extensive IT knowledge. So business users was our core objective. Now, with regards to all in one, what do I mean by this? We've seen from competition that in order to achieve certain part of digital automation, people try and use some tool, and when they use some tool, if they want to do kind of something else, say for example from building a workflow to moving into building a form, and to maybe generating a document from your form with that particular flow, you have to kind of skip and hop and jump into different tools to kind of get all of that together. But with FlowForma, you need not do any of that. You have all of these things together. You can build your workflows, create your forms and generate your documents, all of them in one place. Now, with regards to time to value, it is very essential and our belief that you should be able to digitize a process in about 6 to 8 weeks since you kind of signed up with FlowForma. Now, why we want to say that is because we really want you to see the benefits, and we want you to feel the return on investment. So with us, we have a dedicated team who runs a Sure Start program, and in this Sure Start program, our team is focused to make sure that you can digitize your processes and at least get up and running with one process in the first 6 to 8 weeks. If you can find the value, that's invaluable for us. With regards to adoption, so what happens is generally, like you are representing or participating as one person from a company, and you may be say from finance department. So what happens, we've seen this in our customers. So somebody joins in and learns about FlowForma, and signs up into our product. So they build flows for finance, but then they see the value of it connecting to other different domains in the company. So from finance they move to HR, from HR they move to supply chain. So that's how in their entire organization they add a lot of workflows and build a lot of workflows, and that's how we see that they grow in adoption. So with FlowForma, that is definitely possible, and you can quickly build processes for your organization and make sure that you can deliver that. Next slide, please. Now, like I said, I also wanted to talk about implementation, how and where you can implement FlowForma. And like we know, people start off, for example, in HR, right? So now it's the end of the year and we are, almost getting into December. So we definitely have a lot of performance reviews, which our HRs send us. And we also have a lot of people leaving the company and also people queuing in to maybe joining the company. The recruitment also kind of happens. So for all of this, we see a lot of our customers use Flowforma to kind of digitize their processes. Next, moving on to is finance. So in finance, we see a lot of use cases where our product is really strong. For example, travel management, expenses management. Now it's the time all of you are maybe trying to add in your expenses, how much expenses have happened in November, and you want to maybe get that claimed. So all of this process can also be digitized. Moving on to health and safety, we have a lot of our customers from this sector, especially from construction, and they use our tool for site inspections, for risk assessment, and today we are going to do incident management. So it's really crucial for so many organizations for you all to kind of automate processes. If you want an example from IT, for example, your entire support system, can be, built upon Flowforma, especially change management. We get a lot of requests from our customers. Can you please help us digitize? We have a very difficult change management process, which we need to kind of manage end to end. With regards to customer service, we have a lot of, use cases where customers use our product for renewals, engagement, onboarding, compliance. You know that compliance, is really crucial for every organization, especially when it comes to GDPR, carbon emissions, and general regulatory compliance specific to any and every domain. So we also have seen our customers utilize Flowforma to kind of build those processes end to end. There are a few other areas also where our customers use Flowforma, which is project management, which is quality management. QA is also really beneficial. We've seen very new industries also kind of doing QA, and we've seen a lot of traction there as well. Document approval, travel requests, supply chain, that's also a growing industry. We've also seen a lot of our customers digitizing in the supply chain space. So I want to leave you with just one note. Digitization is no longer an option. All right, it's no longer an option, it's imperative. So it's so important and crucial in this fast moving world. So with that, I come to a conclusion of my presentation, and I want to pass it over to Dara, who's our expert and who will help you build a process now.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mirza. Very well said. Now, just making sure, are you able to see my screen before I kickstart off, Mirza?
Yep, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, hello everyone. My name is Dara Allen, and I'm one of the technical specialists here from FlowForma. So, I would have a deep product knowledge about building out use cases across all different departments, industries, and sectors, and I'd have just a very in-depth knowledge whenever it comes to technical consulting around process automation. Now, today I will be building out the significant incident management process in its entirety. Now, before I actually jump into that, the main key goals for this process would be, number one, to find out where the incident has happened. Number two, who has this incident happened to? Number three, what has happened? And then number four, when it happened. So it's the where, who, what, and when, and how. So the screen that I'm sharing right now, this is the FlowForma admin page. So I have actually mocked up this process previously. So if I just very quickly jump into my sim webinar, just to give you a taster as to what I aim to build today. So as you see here, we have the incident report details with all of the guidance on how to be creating or to use this form. And then of course we have the actual incident details. So what has actually happened and where it happened. And then once we click on submit, this is all sent to HR for approval. And then once HR have approved of it, we will automatically generate documents and store this information into external systems as well. So I will jump straight into it with a create a new process flow. And I will call this a significant incident management. And for the prefix, I'll just call it a webinar. Now, if there's anyone in the audience that has experience of building within FlowForma, this screen that I'm showing right now, this will be quite familiar. So this is our 3-in-1 building tool. So this is where we kind of map out each of the different process steps, the questions, and then automatically generate documents, forms, and do process automation. So before we start any of our different processes, the very first step would be to add a initial step. So this is me actually creating the initial form that will capture the data. So I will call this the reporting details, and I'm going to assign that to myself. And I'm going to just very quickly turn off the attachments, comments, and CC list. Now they usually would be sitting at the footer of the form, but for today, if we do want attachments, I would actually be adding it into the form with one of our question types, which I'll show in a little while. And then the allow pass back to the step. So say if the incorrect information was captured initially, with the allow pass back, when it's sent for approval, we're actually automatically able to send it back to whoever created the form to make the little changes that are requested. So I'm after creating the very first step, which is the reporting details. Now, underneath the reporting details, I'm going to add a question. So this is where I start to capture all of the different data inputs that are required for the significant incident. So I'm going to start off with a separator. Now, a separator is pretty much just a border, just to make the form look and feel a little bit more professional. I'm going to make that bold, and I'm going to stick it to the logo that is FlowForma, which is 30318D, and then the text color as white. So that's just me putting in a border at the very top of the form. And now we're starting to get into the information, the data that we need to capture in order to run this process effectively. So the first of which is the incident reporter name. So this is the person, whoever has actually triggered off this process and initiated it. And through the different question types, I'll just very quickly scroll down through here. So each of the different changes of the data that is required can all be configured within FlowForma. So whether it's capturing the date and time, whether it's uploading a file, or using a lookup question. So this is actually linking FlowForma into external systems, and through REST API, we're able to extract information and put it into FlowForma. Now for today, I'm going to put person or group, and I'm going to assign it to the current user. So this is going to pick up that it is myself, which is Dara Allen in the Active Directory for the Microsoft Office 365. I'm going to click on save, and then my name is going to be printed at the very top of this form every time it is initiated. And then as opposed to that, if Mirza was to jump into the form, it would be his name printed at the very top. So it's just purely from an audit perspective, we're capturing that information. Now, next we have the report date and time. Now, this is the time at which this report or this process was actually triggered and begun. So I'm going to select today as the time, and I'm going to put that to a 60-minute interval and click on save. Now, just very quickly to run through what I have built. So we can see here now that I have the border at the top, which is the incident report details, and then the incident reporter name, Dara Allen, and then the report date and time printed at the very top. Okay,
Wow,
now
what's amazing to see now is, Dara, that you can quickly check what you've built, and it was so quick and easy. It's amazing.
yeah. So as anyone is actually running through the build, we do have a start a test form option up here. So this is where you get to regularly test and see that the form is exactly how you would like it. But from just a form UI and user experience perspective, we do have a form preview. Now, this won't necessarily create a test form, but just from the look and feel, we can actually use that form preview as well. So I'm going to just keep on jumping back into the build here. So we're after capturing the person that's after initiating the form, we're after capturing the date and time that the form is initiated, but it's not necessarily the person that's after creating the form that's after getting injured. So I'm after inputting the injured party name, and I'm going to have that as a single line of text. So whoever initiates this form, this could be someone from HR that potentially would be triggering the form, and of course they'd be inputting, say, the employee or the consultant on site. It'd be their name that needs to be captured. And then finally, after that, once we're after capturing the employee, next up would be the department of the employee. Because look, there can be multiple different MERSs, multiple different DARAs all across each company. So this will help kind of drill down. So the department, we could be looking at a finance department, an IT department, sales, HR, or I'll go project management as well. So this is a choice question that I'm after choosing right now. So with a choice question, you're able to select you're able to choose on each of the different options that you want your employees to be able to choose from. And then, of course, through the different display choices. So whether it's a drop-down menu, in which case you get to choose one, you can have a radio button, which is just kind of selecting a yes and no on each of the different options, or a checkbox, which means that we can actually select multiple different options. I'm going to input that width to 195 pixels. And then finally, the last piece for the reporting details will be the project. So we do see many different customers across the board that whenever they get injured, they're actually on site or external. So they could be actually working on an external project. And for this, I'm going to input the question title as a project, and I'm going to use the lookup feature. So if the projects are, say, sitting in an external system, say a project management system or a construction system or whatever sort of system that you are utilizing, with the likes of FlowForma, we're able to use the lookup and extract information directly out of those systems and input them into the forms. Now for today, I'm just going to be using different SharePoint lists for each of my data. So I'm going to drill down into the project list. Here it is. And I'm going to extract the project name from that project list. So it's 195 pixels. Save the form and then jump very quickly into a test form to see what I have created. So we have the injured party name, in which case we input the name. We have the department, which is all of the different choice questions available, and then the project. So this is looking up into an external system. We get project A, project B, and just for just to show exactly what I have created, it is just a very simple SharePoint list with the different projects and the project descriptions. So that is the very first start of the process build. That's capturing all of the different reporting details. Next up, we need to capture the incident details. What is after happening and what can we do to kind of stop that from happening again? So again, I'm going to add another little separator. This is just a border on the page. I'm going to stick it into the FlowForma logo. I'm going to have a white text and click on save. Now underneath the incident details, the first piece of information I would like to capture is the date of the incident. Okay, so as opposed to the other report date and time, I'm not going to set a default value because this report could be, say, triggered for an accident that might have happened, say, 2-3 days ago or a week ago or a month ago. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on the day that this form is triggered. I'm going to select that to a 60-minute interval, and I'm going to select that only as the date initially. And then I'm going to create a second question type, which will only have the time of the incident. So we're capturing all of that information that might be required just from an audit perspective, just to ensure that all of that views are compliant. I'll click on save. So we have the date of the incident, we have the time of the incident, and now we need to find out where this is after happening. So this will be the incident location. If I click on add a question, incident location, and we're going to have another choice question. Now, purely from a concept perspective, for this incident location, I'm going to have 3 different locations, which is going to be location A, location B, and location C. Now, these could be different areas across the location that your business is, or of course, we're able to drill down into the different locations. So when we look at location A, underneath of which we're going to have an area 1, 2, 3. So we're after labeling and identifying each of the different areas for on site, and of course that will help us to drill down to where any of these accidents do happen. Select that to 195 pixels. And then finally, we have the area. So I'm going to use a lookup question here again. So this is going to be looking up into this SharePoint list. So we can see which location A, B, and C, and then the areas. So as you select location A, there's going to be two options, which is going to be area A1 and A2. So this is just largely as a concept as to how we can drill down into that pieces of information. So within area, we're going to select lookup, and I'm going to look up directly into the location area list that I had created. And I'm going to extract the area from that list. Now, that's me extracting the areas, in which case we'll get all of the different areas, but we need to add a filter into that. As you see previously, I actually had the incident location. So that's the location ABC. So we need to add a filter into this question type to ensure that the location, which is captured, is the exact same as the location that is captured in that question type. Now, just to give you all a very quick showcase as to what I did create there. So we have the date of the incident, in which case you get to choose it. Again, the time of the incident as per each hour. The incident location, we have the location ABC. And if I click into location A, you can see now that area A1 and A2 appear. Likewise, if I click into location B, we only get area B1 and B2. So that's utilizing the lookups in order to really drill down into where these incidents have occurred. And then finally, we have one of the main questions around any incident is the immediate cause known? So I'm going to have that as a yes and no question. I'm going to display it horizontally. And if the immediate cause is known, we need to be able to allow people to input that information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a multi-line of text, bring it down to 3 lines for editing, and I'm going to hide that. So for the first question, is the immediate cause known? That's a yes, no. If we select yes from that question, then the immediate cause question that I'm after just creating here will appear. If it is no, then that immediate cause will remain hidden. So I need to configure a very quick business rule here in front of us. So it's the hide show question rule. And this is kind of as we drill down into the no code logic that FlowForma does provide. Even when it comes to the business rules, just understanding from a business perspective what you're trying to get out of the forms, you're able to create them. So just through common English language, is the immediate cause known is the question that I'm going to be looking at. If I select that and say yes, then we are going to show the immediate cause question type. So just to kind of showcase exactly what I had built there, is the immediate cause known? If I select yes, then the immediate cause text box appears. So that's one of our first business rules that I'm after incorporating into the form. And using those business rules, you can actually create very, very intelligent, bespoke forms for each of your processes across the board.
Wow, I mean, what I see there is that it's so simple, Dara, and you just took just a very little time to kind of add a business rule. Generally, we see that it's so difficult to add rules, but here I see that it's so simple.
Yeah, exactly. So we found that, look, with a tool like FlowForma, a tool that enables users to actually jump in, automate their processes, build out different forms, we understood that it's the process owners on the ground, people that are doing this on a day-to-day basis. They are the expertise exactly around the type of tasks that they do on a day-to-day basis. So we want to try enable them to map out their processes, and of course, when it's mapped out to the most efficient perspective from the on the ground employee, of course, then it'll be the employee adoption is improved. So I have one other question type that I would like to add in over here. So that is, we have the immediate cause. We're after mapping out what immediate cause fix we're after doing, and now we're looking at the immediate remedial actions taken. This is whatever was completed on site whenever the accident did happen. So for this, I'm going to use another choice question, and I'm going to input 4 different options. So we have the evacuate all persons, areas closed off, the first aid provided, and an ambulance called. Now they could be configured to whatever type of choice questions you do require, because we do understand that from a health and safety and significant incident perspective, different departments, different sectors, different industries would have different requirements whenever it comes to remedial actions. And then for this, I'm going to select this as a checkbox and select save. Now by me selecting a checkbox, you're able to select multiple different options in this choice value as opposed to just the one. So that is me after laying out the form. So we're after capturing where it's after happening, who it's after happening to, what is after happening, and when it happened. So one other thing that I would like to add into this is one final question, and that is a file upload, which I'm going to call a guidance for usage. So when it comes to forms, you can have very, very simple, complex, or simple forms that are ran very regularly on a weekly basis, or you could have very complex forms that might need a PDF as just a piece of guidance as to the best way to fill out this form. So for today, I'm going to actually mount a PDF form as the guidance as to how to complete this form correctly out into the form. So I'm going to select this as a file upload question. I'm going to hide the button. And for this, I will just click save and move this to the very top. So what I'm after creating now is a file upload question, and I'm going to use one other business rule, which is going to tap into this documents library that I'm after generating previously, and see this guidance document that is sitting here. I'm going to link that guidance document into the form that I am creating right now. So I'm going to jump all the way up to the process flow initiation. I'll jump over into the data integration business rules, and I'm going to use a set question value. Now, a set question value is just capturing information from one part of your system and mounting it either into a form, into a step, or moving it elsewhere. So with the set question value, I am just going to, 1 second, I'm going to grab the source. So this is where we're pulling the information out of. I'm going to add the hyperlink to where that document is. Click on add, and I'm going to input that document into the guidance for usage question type that I had created. So once I click on save, actually, sorry, I misclicked one thing there. So the event at the very top, when it's set to completed, only when we click submit at the end of the form will this business rule fire. Now for today, I need this to be actually firing when the form is being loaded, because that has to be the first piece of information that people will be looking at. So just a very quick test form to show exactly what we had built. Oh, 1 second.
We've seen, an amazing idea where we have actually first drafted all our questions, all right? So I think that's where it all starts. We have to have a plan for business people. For example, if it's an incident management, okay, at a high level, what does an incident management process contain? All right, so from that, you kind of have to come to your forms. And from those forms, you kind of have to design all these questions, which Dara has done an amazing job, who's been able to do it so quickly and add the rules as well.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So what I had previously just built, you can see now that we have the guidance for usage and we have a guidance document printed at the very top. Now, if you click on that, you're actually brought directly to the PDF document, which is just purely from a tips perspective as to the correct way to fill out this form. So I will click on close. So that is the very first step within the significant incident management after being created. Next, we need to create one more step, and this will be an approval step. Excuse my typing. Approval. I'm going to assign it to form creator again. So that's just assigning it to myself as I'm playing multiple roles today. And I will click on OK. Now, the information that the approver needs to be able to capture. So underneath the approval, The first, of course, key information, just purely from an audit perspective, is the approver name. I'm going to assign that to the current user. So ideally, it would be someone from HR that would probably be running this then. So we have the approver name. Next up, the question is, do they approve? I'm going to add that as a yes, no question type and display horizontally. And if they don't approve, we need to allow them to add comments as to why this isn't approved. So I'm going to scroll down to a multi-line of text, and I'm going to select 3 lines. So we have the approver name, we have the approval, which is a yes, no, and then we have comments. And now, much like I'd created previously, I'm going to use a hide show question rule. So if the approval is equal to no, we need to allow the HR to add the comments as to why they didn't approve of it. So again, using just plain English language, I'll go into the if approve is equal to no, then the comments is shown. And then, of course, using these buttons up at the top right. Now, for anyone that isn't aware as to what these buttons are, the first button is edit. The third button, this is an enable/disable button. So this will allow people to kind of change the information that is stored in the forms. We have a hide show question, which is I'm going to click right now and actually hide comments from the form, and only when the approval is equal to no will the comments appear. And then we have a required question. So if there are, say, multiple different pieces of information that must be inputted before this process is triggered and click submit for approval, we can use the required to ensure people do actually input information into those question types. So that is the reporting details and the approval. Now, I'm just conscious that whenever the HR do add their comments, how is the person that is after initiating the report, how are they going to see it? So we need to have 3 business rules firing at the approval stage. So the first of which is a passback. So this is if we don't get approval, we're going to pass it back to the reporting details, which is the very first step. And I'm going to add a business rule here. So if the approval is equal to no, then we're going to be passing it back to the reporting details. We have a second question, which is I need to add 1 more comments up into the reporting details. Now, purely from a roles and permissions perspective, whoever inputs or creates the reporting details form, they will only have access to see that information. Whatever is completed in the approval step, they will not be able to see it. So we need to have a comments question type added down here. That is pretty much just copying the information that was captured in the second step and printing it into the very first step. So I'm going to grab these comments, I'm going to hide it again. And then I need to grab the comments from the approver and add it into the very first step comments as well. So through what I had previously shown, which is the set question value. So we're going to grab the comments from the second step, and we're going to input it into the comments on the very first step. And then we have 1 final hide show question. So we need to show this comments whenever the approval in the second step is equal to no. And then just 1 final thing before I do run 1 final test form. So the incident reporter name, we do not want anyone to be able to change that. So I'm going to click that to be disabled. I'm going to click the report date and time to be disabled, and the approver name to be disabled. And now let's run a quick test form and see what we're after building in the last 15-20 minutes. So we have the guidance document sitting at the top. We have the incident reporter name. And as you see now, I'm after disabling the question, meaning that I'm not able to edit it, just purely from an audit and tracking perspective. We have the injured party name, in which case we're inputting the name. We have the department. We have the project that they might have been working on. We have the date of the incident, the time of the incident location. So if we drill down into location A, now we have area A1, A2. Is the immediate cause known? We can click on yes and test and input the information as required. And then finally, immediate remedial actions taken. So we're able to select multiple ones of these as per the incident that has happened. Once I click on submit, this is actually going to get routed directly to the second step. So this would be me playing the role as someone in HR, where they can either click back and they are able to see all of the information that's captured, or of course they can click no and add a comment. So if that's we need more information or upload a document, we do see that quite regularly, actually, the requirement of a different document upload. So we do have a tool within the FlowForma or a feature within the FlowForma tool that allows for external users to actually gain temporary access into FlowForma. And using that passback, we regularly do see just a passback to an external user just to upload a document, whether it's certification or say design plans or health and safety documents as required. So as you see here, I'm after passing this back, and the comments from the HR are now sitting at the very bottom. Now, the one issue is I'm able to change those comments. So I want to make one very quick change, go down to comments and make that disabled. Now, how am I doing for time, Mirza? Do I still have 5 minutes?
Yeah, we are on time. No, yeah, you're great.
Okay, because I have a few more things now that I will be able to show. So as this significant incident management form is completed, sent for approval, then what do we need to do? We need to generate a document, and we probably need to send an email to the line manager of the person that has had the accident, just so they gain the information that has happened. So using these business rules down the right hand side, I'm going to configure that right now. So we have under the communications tab, we have a send email and we have a generate document. So these are two business rules that I'm going to create right now. So I'm going to generate a document. I am going to add a new document. So I'm going to call this Significant Incident Management Webinar. Click on the plus, name already exists. I'll select 2. Whenever this document is ran, we're going to store that document into the document library that I have sitting at the very top, which is the significant incident reporting here. So if I just drill down into the environment that I'm currently sitting in, click into documents, significant incident reporting. So this is going to, every document that's automatically generated will be stored there. We're going to convert it to a PDF. And of course, we're going to open the file in the new tab. So that is me after just very pretty much the configuration behind the generate document. Now I need to have a look at what type of document I am going to be generating. So as FlowForma sits within the Microsoft ecosystem, we do have a plugin that is available specifically for Microsoft Word. So as you see here, if I click into the FlowForma tab at the very top, click into the panel, this will automatically identify each of the different variables that I am capturing within the process. So for today, I'm going to very quickly, if I go to desktop, I'm going to upload a FlowForma image. I'm going to put that at the front and at the right. And then any of the different variables that we are actually after capturing in the process. Along the right hand side now you can see the 2 different steps that I'm after creating. The first of which is the reporting details, the second of which is the approval. So if I click into the questions on the right hand side, you can see each of the different question types that have been created, and we're able to say, I'll just very quickly run through this. If I want to capture the incident reporter name, I can get the title, colon, answer. And if I went with the injured party name, title, answer, and then finally, just as a concept, I'm not going to go down through all of them right now, remedial actions taken, and answer. So each of the pieces of information that will be captured within that live form instance will now automatically generate this document. Now, the beauty behind FlowForma having the integration into Microsoft Word is if you already have these documents generated And it's currently a manual process where you're actually opening the documents in Microsoft Word. It's very easy just to copy and paste that information, input it into the template here, and just use the variables that are caught within the FlowForma. So I'll click on Save here, close down my Microsoft Word, and save that business rule. So I'm after generating a document. Next, we need to be able to send that document to an external user. So if I again jump into the communications and the send email rule. So if I was to create a new template, so I'll call this Significant Incident Management Webinar 2 SIM report. And this will be actually creating the email template that will be automatically sent at the end of this process. And again, we're able to utilize the different variables that are captured within the form. So if I jump back into the question type, if I wanted to, I'd be able to say the injured party name. I'd be able to add his name in here. Please see the attached document regarding incident on site. And then I'll just sign it off as FlowForma. Sorry, that was supposed to be a colon. And click on Save. So that's after creating the document template, and now we just need to attach the generated document that I'm after having. So you can see here with the document picker, we have all of the different steps, and we have a rule here at the very bottom, which is the generate document rule. So I'll just click on OK here and click on Save. And we need a user to receive the email. So this could be a variable. So say if it is a role or a specific department, or of course an individual user. So you're able to choose whichever one would be best suited to receive this email. So an email unnamed user, I'm just going to input my name in here, Sarah.Allen@FlowForma. Click on Save. And I think that might be the build in its entirety. Let's run a very quick test form and see what we do come out with. So we have the guidance document PDF at the very top, which I'm able to open if required. We have the name, the date printed at the top. We have Dara as the injured party who works in IT. The project, we're going to go with a project A. The date of the incident is the 28th, which is today, and it is nearly 5 o'clock right now. Incident location, we're going to drill down into, say, location B right now, and we're going to go area B2. And is the immediate cause known? We're going to go yes, slip and fall, area closed off, first aid provided, ambulance called. Upon clicking submit, this is automatically routed directly to HR, where they're able to click back, have a look at all of the information that is captured, either click on yes, click on no. Just see if this is still working, which I assume it is. If I click on no, add the comments, this will be routed directly back to the form creator at the reporting details. We have the comments from HR printed at the bottom. We can make the little changes as required based on the HR's assessment. We click on submit, we click on approve, and we click on submit. So now we're approving of that process. And if I jump over to my emails, I have just received an email 2 minutes ago with the variable, hi Dara, and the document that has been generated. If I click on open, based off the information that I created in Microsoft Word, this is the document that has been generated into a PDF. And then also this information has been inputted into this document folder. You can see here that test webinar 471 is after appearing a minute ago. So at a very high level, we're after running through the creation of the incident management form. We're after adding all of the different business rules, which is the generate document. We're after generate document, send an email. I'm after showcasing just how a passback would work between different departments as well, and of course the capturing of this information. So that is the process build very quickly after running through. How did I do, Mirza?
Oh, that was amazing. I was just imagining, from a user's perspective, you're building your flows, creating your forms, adding questions, and testing that form, and also sending an email, generating a document. You're doing so much in just one tool, in one product. So that is amazing, and that's our USP, and that I'm really proud about that, Dara. Amazing, great work.
That's
Thank you very
fantastic.
much.
Thank you both. Yeah, well done on the quick build there, Dara. So we have about 5 minutes left. So with that, while we all kind of have transformation in mind, and I'm sure a lot of you watching the webinar as we've been going through here are thinking about how you can apply that to your own organization. So I'll have our last poll for the day here. What challenges is your organization currently facing when it comes to processes? So that might be visibility, communicating with your suppliers, your customers. Is that skills? Is that reporting ability? Is that email-based processes? We'll do a couple minutes here and just check in. And then after this poll, we're going to head to our questions. Thank you guys all so much. We have a handful of questions to go through. If we don't get to yours today, just know that David, Dara, Mirza will be able, and all of our process experts will be able to answer those for you. We'll reach out to you directly and make sure you get the answers you need. So let's end this poll here right now. Alrighty, let's see. So it looks like pretty much across the board, there was almost an even split. A couple of them kind of rose to the top there, but it looks like across all the organizations, the attendees here, there's pretty varied process needs. What do you have any feedback for those results, Mirza?
Yeah, I think process visibility is something which is a significant pain point which we come across with a lot of our customers. And the beauty with FlowForma is everything is logged, everything is checked, everything is tested end to end. So that is how every customer can get an end-to-end visibility in our process. So that's really strong with FlowForma.
Wonderful. So I have a couple questions here. Like I said, we'll have to make quick work of it, but we'll see. Have you a library of the pre-approved actions? Maybe I can send that to Dara or
Yeah.
Mirza.
Yes, if you'd like me to take that one, Mirza. So yes, we
Yeah.
do have a library of each of the actions that have been pre-approved. So whether it's just from a document generation perspective at the end of that demo, that would be a library that only the approved processes would be inputted into that document library. But of course, we do also have kind of a process performance within FlowForma. So we're able to drill down into each of the different processes, the steps, and actually identify kind of what is holding them up, the successful cases, the non-successful cases, and it kind of gives you that insights if you are wanting the tool, which is FlowForma.
Wonderful. We have time for one more question here from Ethan. In health and safety, do you have a work permit form option?
Sorry, could you repeat the end of that question again?
Yeah. So within health and safety, do you have an option for a work permit form?
A work permit form. If it is now, that's actually a first time me coming across this. Mirza, have you come across a work permit form?
Yeah, so I think what happens is we definitely have options to kind of integrate, such forms, and we also have seen in the past that a lot of customers have. Now, that's the thing with FlowForma is that it is going to cater to every industry, and construction is our strength. So we kind of make sure that we can have such forms in our process tagged in, so that should not be a problem at all.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both. So before we wrap up, I just want to offer a quick reminder that you can book a one-on-one call with any of our process experts. You can sign up for a free personalized demo or even enjoy a free 14-day, 2-week trial all on our website, flowforma.com. all of our experts, the ones you saw here today, and all the experts here at FlowForma are more than happy to help kind of steer your digital transformation projects in the right direction. So please be sure to reach out with any questions. Like I said, if you asked a question in the chat and we didn't get to it, we'll make sure we answer you. Finally, when this webinar ends today, you'll be invited to fill out a quick survey, and we would really appreciate any feedback that you have. It'll just take 1 minute to fill it out. So with that, that's all we have for you folks today. I hope you enjoyed FlowForma's first Learn Lab, and have a great rest of your day. Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.